Hey y'all, welcome to Petty and Friends, where we use humor to break down barriers so that we can talk about real life situations and find real life solutions. I'm your girl, Optimistic K, and on today's episode, our petty guest of honor is my girl, my sister, my friend, La'keali Hampton. We'll be talking about motherhood, marriage, maintaining friendships while being in a relationship, and so much more. Let's get to it. Well, I am here with my good friend and sister and buddy, La'keali Hampton. No, Mrs. Hampton. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Just out here trying to make it.
We all trying to make it, man. That's really what we trying to do. We just go to work for fun. For kicks and giggles, actually.
Pretty much. I'm tired of punching clocks, though.
Everybody's tired of punching clocks, man. That punching clocks make you feel like you're a hamster on the wheel. Like, you really just feel like, bro, you on the wheel, just going. It's never gonna stop until you make it stop, man.
I'm trying to get there.
That's funny. Well, at work, do you have a lot of good relationships at work, like friends and like associates?
I got a few friends. Yes, you can call them friends. It's only like four of us in my department, and we're pretty cool for the most part. I'm really close to one, and then the other two, we straight, we cool. Outside of that, I hang with people, I talk to people, I make them laugh, then I go on about my business. That's about it.
Do you hang with them outside of work?
No. One, I've been trying to hang out with outside of work, but we're both moms, and our kids are like 4 days apart. So we be going through the struggle of having mom dates.
Oh yeah, got to get that schedule right.
It hasn't happened yet. We've been planning this since December.
Oh, it's February. Oh my God.
We're gonna get it right though, at like some point in our life.
Some point in your life. Do you feel like being a new mother? Well, because you're fairly new. Being a new mother, you had to find ways to reorganize your life and like reschedule your life as a whole.
Bruh, having kids, I swear, like they run your life. Like, yeah. I thought that was a serious. I have much respect for my mother right now because like I never realized how much you rearrange everything, your sleep schedule, your shower schedule, watching TV. I can't even watch my TV shows.
Yeah.
I can't even get into the Thursdays.
What she want to watch?
She want to watch SpongeBob. She liking Dora right now. Yesterday was Finding Dory.
Oh, Finding Dory.
And the Mother Goose nursery rhymes. I'm about sick of those right now.
I think it's hilarious. Like, I get to experience that a little bit, even though I'm not a parent. I'm a nanny, so I'm like a second parent. And I think it's hilarious when you try to go to the restroom and then you see them little fingers creep through that door like they go through the crack. Or, like, Miss Katrina, I'm in the restroom. Get out of here.
Or you could be like, my kid. Now, she's learned doorknobs.
Oh, Lord.
So it's not just like mommy's in there. Let me stick my fingers under there. No, it's like a whole boom. Mama. And then her dad walks right behind her. So it's like, yeah, my life is pretty much just not private anymore.
Chocolate chip. I love her. That's my baby.
Anybody want to adopt a 1-year-old for a couple hours?
She is not for sale. Excuse me. She is not going on the market. She's gonna come home with me.
Okay, that's fine too. That's fine. That's even better.
That's hilarious. So when you became a mother, you saw that a lot of people in your life ended up either staying or they ended up moving around. So you had to restructure your friendships as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a lot of people I was real close with. Oh, I'm gonna be auntie, whatever. They disappeared. I ain't hear from the fools for like another year, or randomly start liking Facebook pictures or making statuses. It's crazy, but the people that had always been there, they always remain there, I was just thankful for that. But for the most part, I don't talk to many people as I used to talk to. It's like people feel like because you become a mother, you don't have a life. And it's not, I have a life. It's just, it's just restructured.
Right.
Can't go to the club every weekend, but
Nobody got time for clubs no more anyway.
I gave up the
Ain't
club.
nobody trying to get shot and get stabbed or. Actually, I don't even want to be all in there sweaty after I done got fly. I'm in here getting sweaty and hot, her getting puffy.
Look, you spent 2 hours.
Right.
2 hours to get cute for the club. You walk inside and you in there for 5 whole minutes and you ain't even cute no more. You don't even care.
It's over. And that's why when them lights come on, they scatter like roaches. Like when them lights come on, people be like, let me get up out of here before the lights come on.
Be weave and heels and everything just left on the dance floor.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I can't do it no more.
That's funny. How is married life?
Married life is good. It's great. I've been somebody that can put up with me and my attitude in my mood swing. So shout out to Chris for that.
Yes, Mr. Hampton.
Mr. Hampton. He was pretty persistent for 5 years. You know,
5 whole
years. I was in relationship after relationship, and he was still there.
When I said 5 whole years, I was thinking, you know how Toni Braxton has that song. She's like 7 whole days. Hey. I wanted to sing 5 whole years,
bro.
That's a long time, bro, to be courting somebody,
man,
or to be waiting to catch.
I mean, he had his people and I had mine, but it was never a time where he didn't text me or want to spend time with me. And my excuse used to always be, bro, I'm trying to study, and I was studying.
In school.
I was studying, but I was going to the club and I was pledging, and I was shallow, very, because I thought, oh, this dude ain't in school, man. He ain't got nothing going on. But he turned out to be, you know, one of the most genuine people I've ever met.
Yeah.
Never had to question his loyalty. Never had to question, you know, his generosity. I used to think, oh, dude just want to holler at me because I'm in school. Or he likes something about me physically. But it was way more than that. And if I had given him a chance 5 years ago, I probably have about 2 or 3 kids right now.
Hey, well, we got 1 right now. That's all that matters. Chocolate Chip says she solo dolo.
Oh, yeah, she cool with that.
She solo dolo.
She cool with that.
I think it's very interesting that you mentioned, like, his generosity and his authenticity. Like, we all think that people that are in school or in college are, like, the epitome of what an individual should be. But we quickly realize that that's not what... It's more fake people in college than it is out here in these streets. Like, I think that people think that little title as a college student just makes them higher than other people, and it really doesn't. But
you know, I thought, you know, oh, they in school for a certain major, you know, they gotta be extra smart, extra mature, and getting into a situation where it appeared on the surface that this person was extra smart, cool, managed money well, and all these things turned out to be control.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was never doing enough. It was like I was having to measure myself according to his standards, and I couldn't even be me.
Yeah.
And I lost myself. I hated it.
Yeah.
But I stuck with it because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And I tried to maintain friendships and kind of got rid of those and maintain, you know, my grades, and those started slipping, and then, you know, trying to just act like I was happy and I really wasn't, and it was just, that stuff is stressful, bro.
Yeah. College is like not for the weak.
It's not.
I feel like you go through a lot of life changes while you're in school. That's why it's important to have, like, your moral compass needs to be strong and, like, steady.
Yes.
Because you can sway any kind of way in college, and, like, if you're not careful, you will lose yourself, and you may not find yourself over again. So I'm so glad that you did, and you were able to, you know, remove all of that fluff out your life. We're gonna call it fluff for lack of a better word.
Yeah, because y'all don't want to know what it really was.
But relationships in college are very interesting to me. I've watched all kinds of relationships, from your situationships to your that's bae, that's Netflix and chill, and that's meal plan. You know, like, it's We've
Not
seen
meal
it all,
plan.
man. Yo, meal plan. I wrote about this in my book, but my frat brother used to have a girl for everything. A girl for everything.
He was resourceful.
He's still that way today. He's still like that today.
Hey, dude's resourceful. I don't care what nobody got to say.
He was resourceful.
Man.
And he got me a lot of free stuff. And I can't, I felt kind of bad doing this because, I'm still a woman first, but I was hungry and I was a poor college student. So, I kind of needed that extra free meal.
And that was you just, pulling on the resources,
Yeah.
Don't feel bad about it. I mean,
that was bad.
You had to feed your soul, though.
That was bad.
But you had to feed your soul.
Meal plan was a young lady that had, I guess she had the platinum version of the meal plan because she used to buy us all lunch. Like, we used to meet at the table and she used to buy us all lunch just because she was dating our frat brother, or she thought she was dating him. So it was kind of bad. See, college have a way of exploiting people. It's not good sometimes.
I look at it like this. Those were survival skills that were being practiced at that moment.
I used to come get your card too.
I mean, yeah, but you wouldn't. At least I wasn't meal planning.
Nah,
I just didn't eat my stuff.
I'd be like, let me get some of the meals off of you.
That was just being resourceful, saving time and space. Yeah.
Because I'm going to use them.
No,
yeah, all the
I
fruits.
mean, that was my mama's money.
Yeah.
Technically.
Thank you, mama.
Right? You fed a lot of people, moms. Like, real talk, you helped some people.
I used to go in there and put all the fruit in my backpack.
You did. You was the bag lady, bro.
I'm still a bag lady to this day. I got backpacks on backpacks.
Hey, what you used to do when you do study? I got snacks, guys.
Yep. Hey, you gotta have snacks, bro.
This dude got granola bars and water. And
I don't have to leave.
That's true.
See, when I came to study, I came to study.
That's true.
And That's true. Most people leave to go get food and then they don't come back. That's so funny.
I'd be like, bro, I got the itis. I studied for like 3 hours. I did good
30
today.
minutes. More like 30 minutes.
Remember them times at A-Hall?
Yeah.
Shout out to the A-Hall study room.
Shout out to UTA.
Yeah, I don't want to pay them all this money back though.
Nah, I don't either. I got my little notification for my student loans the other day, and I'm telling you, they think I'm balling out here in these streets. And I'm like, bro, low key, y'all gonna have to take that down. Because I can't afford it. I can't.
You gotta look at it like this. I'm trying to go to school to make a living. Y'all trying to take my life.
Yeah.
You trying to take it back? You gonna give me my life.
Wow.
This piece of paper is trying to help me. Give me my life. And y'all trying to take it back? You can have this piece of paper. If it means all $100,000, here you go. Well, it ain't even that serious no more.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I am the master of finding the loophole. And I will continue to find the loophole. Can you help me
find the loophole then? Because I got
Once I find it.
Oh, okay.
Once I find it, I will give you the master plan.
So it's like this dark, deep hole in space somewhere that you got to discover.
That's dead, man. That is dark and deep.
And depressing.
College life is rude, bro. They don't tell you about these things, but the best thing that came out of college for me is the relationships that I've built. I met so many cool people and made a lot of friends that I'm still cool with today. Some not so much, because whenever people get booed up, it seems like their whole demeanor changes and they end up being like real distant. So I'm trying to figure out why people do that. Do you have an opinion on that?
Man, I got a big opinion on it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
I don't understand why it is that we feel like once we get a boo, that's just it. That's just life. Forget about the support network that I had. Forget about them people that was there for me when I was hungry, or just struggling. Man, forget about that. I'm going to go ahead and get with Bae.
Yeah.
But then what happens when Bae decides she don't want to be booed up no more? Or what if Bae decide he want to go get a wife now?
Right.
Then what you do? I mean, then you stuck out there. The support system you had, they kind of moved on from it. Now you got to rebuild everything like that. It's sad. I never had been the type. I'll take that back. in one relationship, like I said, it was a control thing more than anything. But I'm just lucky that I had friends that understood what I was going through and noticed the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But even now in my marriage, when I brought my husband around my friends, of course you be careful who you bring your boo or bae around.
Yeah.
Because everybody don't have good intentions.
Right.
But on the other end of it, I brought him around because I knew he was a genuine person. I knew, he gonna fit in with these people. And if he don't, that don't necessarily mean I can't still be friends with them. It's just, that's just a part, that's just a relationship that I have with those people that he doesn't have to be involved in. Right. Not like it's a secret, but, I brought my husband around my friends and let him meet them and get close to them and, just build a relationship himself with them.
Before he was husband.
And it made a world of a difference because, number one, I got to share time with him and he got to see me in the personal and intimate. We were together. And then he got to see me in, friendship and how I managed my friendships. And mm-hmm. I got to see how he managed friendships and how he was around other people. Mm-hmm. So it helped because my best friend got to meet, my best friend. It's my husband's my best friend, and then I have another best friend that I always had. Mm-hmm. And it just allowed me to be able to, for him to be comforted and knowing who these people are. If I say I'm going out with such and such, then, he's cool with it. There's no ulterior motives. Yeah. But I'm finding now there's so many people that get lost in a relationship and it's like, no. You had this relationship before boo or bae came in the picture. Right. And it was fine. And yes, you grow up and you change, but that doesn't mean that relationship just is salvaged or you just forget about those people.
Yeah, I agree. The key thing that I just took from what you said was friendship management. I think that people lack management skills, period. Like, they feel like they're obligated to give all their time to this mm-hmm. person just because they're like in that cupcake phase or because they like really just infatuated with the person. But I think that people choose not to manage their relationships, and that's when issues start happening. That's when like misunderstandings start happening, and like the other person in the situation feels like you just neglecting the whole friendship. So at that point, as the other friend, if I'm in this situation, I'm going to start living my life as if you're not in it. Like, if you're not in it actively, right? I'm going to start acting like you don't exist because you don't. Like,
I mean, in essence, you really
you don't. And we have to move on. And I think that it's crazy that people think that they can be distant for so much time and then come back like nothing happened. Like, bro, no,
it don't work like
that. It don't work like that.
I'm not going to stop my life to let you back up in here do the same stuff again. And it's sad.
It is sad. It's sickening to watch though.
It is. But I have friends who would tell you, Keely's mean, Keely's blunt. I ain't gonna lie, I am. If you make that decision, I respect your decision. Bring your boo or your bae. I don't mind. But if, if we had a good relationship before, a good friendship before, whatever it was before, I expect it to continue. Do I know that, as much time as you spent before with me, can't happen anymore? Yeah, right. I know that. You need to split your time. Yeah. And I'm not saying you need to go 50-50. It ain't got to be 60-40. It could be 80-20.
Absolutely.
Ooh, let's not get into 80-20 rule around these parts. In these streets.
80-20 rule. Boy, they be flipping the script on that one.
Let's not do the 80-20 rule in these streets. But it don't have to be like that. But, I still expect to see you. I don't, calling me on the phone is cool. FaceTime me is cool. Mm-hmm. Text messaging me is cool, But if we was real cool to the point where, we confided in each other or we shared, memories, experiences and stuff together, mm-hmm. supported each other and still support each other, it should still be the same.
Yeah.
It should still be the same. But here's the thing. If you're not comfortable in yourself prior to that relationship, like comfortable in yourself to know who your friends are, know, how you manage things, don't get in their relationship.
That's
I'm telling
right
you
there.
now.
That's
don't even bother, because what you're going to do is whatever little support network you had, you don't even know yourself, so you're relying on the next person to tell you about yourself or build you up and make you, be whatever you're aspiring to be. Or you put that person so high on a pedestal that the moment that they let you down, and everything comes crashing down and you look around, you by yourself. And it shouldn't have to be like that.
Yeah, that pedestal business. Let me say something on that real quick. They're still humans. Like, I mean, you can love somebody to your core and still make mistakes, right?
Right.
So when it comes to putting people on pedestals, you should never do that ever, ever, ever. The only person that should be elevated is God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Like, honestly, putting a human on a pedestal is going to cause a downfall anyway, because you're putting way too much into that person. If you're looking for somebody to make you whole, you're already missing the mark. You should be a whole person before that other person comes along.
Amen to that.
There's no way a human being is going to make you whole. They can make your life a little bit better by making you happy, enhancing your happiness, but they shouldn't be your everything. Like, if I start talking to someone and they tell me they want me to be their everything, I'm running the opposite direction because I don't want to be your everything, because you got to be able to. What if I die tomorrow? Like,
that's always in counseling, and really what it comes down to. Here I go with my counseling.
No, go ahead.
With my counseling hat on. But real talk, what it ends up being is a codependent relationship.
Yeah, and
those are really toxic because, like you said, if I die tomorrow, what are you gonna do?
Right.
I mean, who is gonna be there? Who you gonna fall back on? If I decide tomorrow I want to move to Dubai and I can't take you with me, so we got to break up. What are you gonna do? Who are you gonna go to?
Yeah.
Healthy friendships set a stage for healthy, happy relationships. Period. But you gotta have that solid foundation, and you gotta be strong in that foundation. And I mean, and I look at it like this: if you got a boo or bae and you really love them, and you do bring around your friends, and let's say your friends do, I think that's one of the things that I liked. Your friends gonna tell you if they real friends, gonna tell you whether or not someone's genuine or not. Yeah. Granted, there's some who jealous and don't want to see you happy, miserable, used to having you to themselves, but they not your friends. But them real ones, them day ones, they gonna tell you when something off. Yeah. If I have listened to you guys in my last relationship, I would have known better. I would have paid attention. But when I brought my husband around, I noticed everybody welcomed him with open arms. Yeah. It was no question.
We love Mr. Hampton.
He fit right in. I be worried about my boo sometimes. He a little off, but
Hey, we all a little off. But if you're not a little off, you whack. You boring.
I mean, but like you said, if you're looking for somebody to make you whole, you have missed the mark.
Yeah.
You have to be whole before, because, like you said, they only enhance you.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm lacking something, he should be able to fill me with that. But it shouldn't be to the point where I'm lacking everything and I'm looking to him. Oh, please help me. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. I can't live without you.
You're an infant. At that point, you're an infant.
You are an infant.
Like, who wants to be with a baby? That is child molestation. Like, you need to be a grown-ass woman or a grown-ass man when you enter in a relationship. Like, let's go ahead and go back to the terms that we're using right now.
Okay.
The fact that we say boo and bae. Okay. Isn't a bae like way out there? That's like the definition of bae, like the Bay Area is at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. And boo, when you say boo, you think about ghost, right?
That's true.
Instantly already distance. Like, those terms make me think distance.
Yeah.
Like, I think that
that goes into pet names, bro.
It does. That's
Don't you be walking around here calling your boo or bae poodle and stuff like that. I better not hear that. I will talk about you.
I don't even like the words boo and bae. I actually hate it. I just use it because I know that it's gonna be something that other people understand. Like, I think that. Is your name David? I'm gonna call you David. That's your name.
Like, real talk. As a married woman, I'm over here acting like I've been married for years.
Hey,
about to be 3 years. I don't call my husband bae or boo. I might say he's my boo thing, and being cute. But he's Chris.
Mm-hmm.
He's honey.
Yeah.
He's
always honey.
It is. It is. He's baby, not bae. And even now, having a child, I swear, I don't even want to baby. Don't want to even say it no more. Mm-mm. But he's honey. He's my love. Things like that. Y'all want to come up with all these cute names. These cute little pet names and stuff, and that's cool.
Use them at home though.
But don't use that in public. Like, if dude, like you said, if his name David, call him David or Dave.
I'm a sweetie person though. I like to call people sweeties.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Just, I don't know why. I just do. I call normal people sweetie though.
I don't see nothing wrong with that. I mean, but you can have your pet names, your boos and your baes, but be careful with it. Because if boo or bae ain't wifey or hubby material, it ain't going, homie. Especially, I'm talking to all my mid-20s and up. So we starting at like 23.
You can
y'all
drop
there,
that down to 19 in real life.
Yeah, real talk. I'm about to be 26, so I got married at 23. They let you know I stopped playing games at 20. I would say 20 is when I decided I'm kind of sick of this boo bae talking to him and him too. I don't have time for that, man. But when I thought I found who was going to be husband, of course I was still growing and developing, but, I've learned through my friendships, that from day one, how it all started, it should have never been that way. I met this dude in the club, y'all.
Boy, it's already dark and dim in there. Dimly lit, that means you can't see. Yeah.
At one point in time, I had a thing for what they call the exotic ones. So,
Them exoticas.
They was exotic. They crazy.
That's what I call them, the exoticas.
They was exotic, but crazy. But, thank God for growth.
Yeah, thank God for growth.
But I will say that in my current relationship, I have built some good friendships. When I did Man of the Year, crazy. I had the most. I remember working with them guys like they were my babies. They were my boys. They were, but we were also friends. Remember, we had kickbacks all the time. And yes, we all grew apart after that, and everybody went their ways, and they pledged and grew up and all these things. But I can say that I did build solid relationships.
Keely was over a event called Men of the Year, AUTA, and it was put on by BSA, right?
Yeah.
It was put on by BSA, and she was over the whole event. So she was like the mother of the group, and she was supposed to help the kids. I always call people kids. She had to build the men up or whatever to help them get ready for the show. So that's who she's referring to.
But I am proud of them because I do see growth.
They've grown so much.
They've grown so much, like Yoel, and I was worried about Yoel for a minute.
But
he's grown into an amazing young man. Yeah. Cameron, always been goofy, still goofy. But he's grown a lot too. He's more serious than he was.
He has confidence now too.
Yeah. And then, Woolen, my twin.
Chris.
That's my twin. He's grown a lot too.
We're going to get him on here too.
I don't know if we want Woolen on here.
We can be petty together.
That's true.
We're gonna put him on the petty and friends segment.
He gotta be on that.
All of us.
I feel like that's gonna go left.
It's
like, but we're
gonna get a whole lot. We're
gonna get a whole lot of listeners though. I'm down for this. I am.
2 lefts make a right.
Woolen, you're gonna come on. You're gonna walk on. We're gonna walk.
We're gonna walk on.
You're gonna work like a walk on.
Work like a walk on. Shout out DJ. Shout out to my boy DJ.
But we had, who else? JG. Boy, JG used to do his stuff so last minute. It used to bother me so much. But you know what? He was still one of the genuine Keely. I gotta trust me. And every time he said trust me, he came.
I got it. Yeah,
he came through. And Quincy, oh Quincy,
I love Quincy.
Oh Quincy, y'all. If you're ever on my Facebook page or my Instagram, that is my real life brother. He is in like literal real life. Like my parents have officially adopted this dude. My real life brother. Like. I think we have so much in common. I think in I've watched him grow so much. I be wanting to beat him down a lot. I be just wanting to just tear him
Shake
up.
him. Like,
I do, but he a grown man and I can't do that
you
now.
can't. You gotta let him.
I gotta,
you gotta let him go, let him fly.
I'm letting them fly as much as I can, but that umbilical cord still there, so I be jerking it back.
Yeah.
But Quincy always had his stuff on point, but he got out of his shell.
Very much so.
And James.
Shout
out to James. I miss James too.
We got to get him on too.
Oh man,
we should do a reunion of Man of the Year.
I thought about doing it. They got booze and bays now. That's what I'm gonna call it. They all got booze and bays now.
Woolen too?
I think Woolen secretly got a boo or bay we don't know about.
Well, I'm gonna say this too. You said a little bit earlier that you learned from your friendships, you learned from your friendships about your relationship.
Yes.
And I think that it's very interesting that people cut off their friends because they may not want to hear what their friend has to say. Or, they may not want to, if they know it's wrong already from the get-go, they probably don't even want to go down that road with anybody or hear from anybody. I have a friend.
Oh boy. There's always one, isn't it?
I had a friend, though, real talk. I was really close to this dude. That was my homie. Close. Always told me about every girlfriend. Well, not really girlfriends. Oh, he used to always tell me about the girls that he would talk to or that he was pursuing. And they were all not black women, which was fine. I have no problem with that. But the minute that he got with a black woman and made her his real life girlfriend, I had no idea. He didn't tell me anything. I was in the dark. All I know is that we used to talk a lot. And then next thing I knew, he was not answering any of my calls or any of my...
That's crazy.
Which that's what bothers me. I'm be open and let me know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that way I can govern myself accordingly.
Right.
Because when my friends are in relationships, I like to be respectful to their girlfriend or boyfriend.
Right.
In every sense, because I don't want them to think I want them. So I don't want nobody.
I've been down that road, I've been down that road where, homeboy was pursuing girl and girl thought there were ulterior motives, even though I'm happily married. Happily married. That's my bro. It's nothing more, nothing less. That's my bro. But I think it's interesting, that you just cut me off because you got a girlfriend?
And that's my issue. I really want to know from a guy's perspective, why do y'all do that? Before you even get in a full-blown relationship, everything is cool, chill. We talk like normal, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't even talk to people that much because I'm busy myself. But the communication is flowing. But then when you get in a relationship, it just is cut completely off. And I feel like that's very disrespectful when it comes to our friendship because we built this over years.
Right.
So for me, I feel like that's really disrespectful. And I hate it, honestly.
It's hurtful. I went through similar use to this friend being around, weekends and going places. And I understand when kids come to picture, things change. And, but we still could have been chilling, having our nights,
hanging
with
out.
my husband because he and my husband were good friends. Brothers. They became brothers. And I loved it, but it was just Bae came in the picture. Awesome girl. From what I know about an awesome girl.
I'm happy for both parties, but
right. But it was now all of a sudden visits became scarce, and then I would hear from him, hey, how's everything going, and all that, and it's everything's good. Why haven't I seen you?
Right,
oh, man, this and that. I don't hear no excuses. Just tell me the truth. This is a question to the men. Is it the girlfriend that's controlling this? Or is it just a fear that you have that the girlfriend's going to leave you because you still friends with your, he's like your sister. She like your sister. So what's really wrong if you set that tone from the beginning with your girlfriend? Be honest with her. Let her know. This homegirl, we really cool. I'm not saying I'm going to be over there all the time, but why don't you come with me? If that girl decides she don't want to come around anymore, or she don't want to come around at all, and feel like it's necessary that you spend more time over here than even with your own family and friends, you got to do some reevaluating, bro. You gotta understand that's a test of character there. Do you really want a wife
like that?
That
I'm gonna give you one more though. This is a theory I always thought about, just from watching all my friends go through this too. I feel like at some point, if that person cuts you completely off, they probably wanted to talk to you at some point. Not dealing with your situation, but I'm saying as a whole, like, I'm going to cut myself off from this person completely because I know the type of feelings I have for this person.
Right.
So to me, I feel like if you have those feelings, you need to tell people,
bruh,
or you need to try to explore that, because I'm like, bro, you cut people off because of your problems. It ain't mine, it's yours.
This is true. Now that's true.
I do wonder about that too, because like I've seen some of my friends, I know the dude like her, but when they get in a relationship, they'll cut the girl off completely. And you'd be like, so why you ain't even talk to her then?
Right.
If you wanted to be
and the worst thing that she could have told you is no.
Right.
I know people fear rejection in real life, but it's 2 letters.
Rejection is real, guys.
It is real, but it's 2 letters. And when it comes down to a relationship and she tells you, no, I don't want it to become intimate, I like us being friends, accept it for what it is and just and try to get her point of view as to why.
Yeah.
And this goes for the ladies too, accept, because some of these ladies out here let me tell y'all something. If you do have a homeboy and you do like him and you expressing he don't like you, still respect the girlfriend.
Please.
Don't be trying to be the side chick. Don't do it.
Or how about don't throw yourself in him, period. If he already told you no. Because these girls out here in these streets are ruthless.
They getting there, man.
They ain't getting there. They are there. They're very ruthless. Like, we think everybody talking about guys. These girls out here are like doing the absolute most. Like, you know this dude is in a relationship. Do not call him after a certain time.
Right.
You know he's in a relationship. Don't be coming over all the time. All that best friend shit, like in real life. To me, this is best friend. That's that best friend shit saved in her phone, but you really want to be with this dude. A best friend or a friend, when it comes to opposite sex, you have to have the same mentality from Jump Street. Like, you cannot be where I liked him at first and then we became friends because he didn't want me. That's never going to work.
Your feelings are still tied in.
Yes, and you're going to always do things to try to jeopardize the relationship, or you're going to do things to, like, just to be doing shit and being petty. If one of y'all liked each other beforehand, it's never going to work. You're never going to be good friends. It's never going to be something that lasts for the long haul. Like, it's not.
And stop trying to make it be what it's not. Stop trying to create feelings and ideas and scenarios like, but what if I do this? Well, what if I do that?
Because that's what they're doing.
All of this for you.
Right.
You're doing it because you want to.
Yeah.
Just respect the boundaries and just understand it's not gonna work. Now, can you still be associates? Of course. Yeah. You see him out with his girlfriend. Don't be all up on him trying to hug him and get in touch and feel and grope, and guys don't be trying to grab booties and breasts. And
that's not a friendship, man.
It's not even a friendship.
That is a side piece.
You're creating one.
What's funny to me though, the statement you just made, and I tell girls this all the time when they ask me for advice. I did all of this. I was washing his clothes. I was cooking. I was doing all of this. And he still chose her. You know why he chose her? Because you were never in the running. And people have to understand that just because you did all of that does not make him obligated to choose you. When you decide to do something for somebody, it's exactly that. You decided. And if they asked you to do it, you still made the decision to do it on your own.
I look at it like
you cannot
this.
hold that against anybody and make them feel, I mean, you can't, they're not obligated to be with you.
I look at it like this, and this is something I realize. You don't sit there and put all your eggs in one basket, and you don't sit there and do wife stuff for somebody that is not your potential husband. Do not. And men, don't you go out of your way to take care of her, make sure she got this, make sure she got that.
Yeah.
If you know that she's no way in hell gonna be your wife.
Tricking is not it, y'all.
It's not. And
that's
I mean,
tricking.
It bothers me because I understand, like being submissive. That is for a wife.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I will respect you as my boyfriend. I don't have a problem with, here and there spoiling you and all that jazz and good stuff. But
and all that
if
jazz.
if we don't have an understanding that this is going to turn into more than what it already is, or there's potential there, hey, guess what? You gonna put all your eggs in one basket, and little boo boo baby gonna be going on about their business
What
and
are you
marry
doing
somebody
though?
else.
Honestly, at this point, it's 2017, y'all. We all know the game. I would hope. If you don't know the game, you're acting like you don't know. At the end of the day, like, you shouldn't even be entering into something that's not promising.
Right.
That you don't feel like it's gonna be promising. Y'all do all of this, like, wifely things, all of the wifely things for a interaction. It's not even for girlfriend status anymore.
No.
Y'all messing up the game. Like Pimp C said, y'all fucking up the game. Like,
man, you
stop.
give us wives a bad name.
And I'm not even a wife. I'm actually very, very single. And I am happy being single. Like, I'm the friend who really don't really care. Like to be honest,
life.
whenever he comes, he comes. Like, I'm not stressing over it. I'm not gonna put myself in a position to be used and abused because because I don't have a boyfriend. I'm like, bro, it's a lot of other things in life.
You trying to stack this paper?
It ain't even about paper though. It's about legacy to me. Everything that I do is about legacy. Like,
that's a good way to look at it when it comes to relationships. If we can't build together and build a legacy together and get on the same page together, guess what? It ain't gonna work, homie. I mean, like I said, I was shallow in the last relationship.
You learned that.
I learned with my husband when he did seriously want to pursue a relationship. I told him the things that meant a lot to me. One of the things we had different opinions about is church. Not that he don't believe in God. He very much does, very much Christian man. But, going to certain churches had soured him. Bad relationship with churches had soured him, so he didn't feel necessary to go. Well, I told him, church is very important to me. Some people it's not, but it is to me, and I need you to go. First time, he laid in bed. Okay, cool, I'm still gonna go. But when I went to him and explained to him, look, when I said church was serious to me, I'm not trying to force you into going, but if that's not a part of what's important to you, if God is not like the head of your life as he is mine, then this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And you know what he said? Because I love you and because I know I want to marry you one day, I will make an attempt. And that's all I asked. He went to church and go every Sunday.
Yeah.
And when we got on the same page about education, me being in school and things like that, when it came down to having our daughter, wasn't perfectly planned, but there was a solid plan there where we did it together and we on the same page. And when I said I'm going back to school, we were on the same page. And when I said I want to start a business, he's been my backbone in that. And ladies, if you tell your man that you want to do this and he don't be like, babe, go for it, I got your back.
Run.
Run like hell.
Run like hell, the opposite direction. Because
please.
The moral of the story is communication is key. And whether it be in your friendship, your relationships, your situationship, whatever you want to call it. Communication is the key to everything. And I feel like you need to quit shortchanging yourself. Like, I feel like y'all give up so much of yourself just to say that you're associated with somebody. And in reality, you need to be getting to know who you are so that you can be ready for the man that you're trying to reach. Like, you can't ask for a man that's making $100K and got all his stuff together if you haven't even attempted to build yourself up. These men kind of don't want a trophy wife no more. They want it all. They want the trophy with the 40 acres and a mule.
Man, they want the glass casing. They want the house with the white picket fence.
And so do we. You know, in reality, like, we all want certain things in our relationships. Like, I can honestly say the one thing that I know is a deal breaker for me is if you are a liar. Like, a liar. And then and then the second most important thing is if you don't have ambition, if you're not like a go-getter like me, it's never going to work because you're never going to understand my logic, like, to why I do things the way I do it. I need somebody who's a go-getter. Like,
hey, and ambition can be your ambition is to make money.
Nah.
Here, I look at it like this.
Money's not a good motivation.
Money's not a good motivation, but I look at it like this. And I understand there are some people out there who've never been pushed to the limit. If you get with somebody who don't push you past your comfort zone, I swear, you might as well just stop, pump the brakes, put that thing in park, and just really have a conversation.
You ain't got to put it in park, just jump out.
I mean, there was a point in time when my husband used to say, man, do you people want me to cut my hair? They want me to cut my hair for some money. I ain't never cut my hair. You know what? I told him, look at it from a different perspective. Do you want to always be where you at?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to have retirement and you want to do this and you want to do that. Right? And he was like, yes. Yeah, so to get to that level, yes, you have to sacrifice. And your hair, it can always grow back. Yes, you have attachment to it. But it was also the attachment that I think is what transitioned him from a boy to a man. Cutting his dreads was like, I saw him in a different light. Like, he was like, this man is willing to sit here and let me, of all people, cut the dreads out of his head so he could do better. And when he did, not saying that it was just the fact that he cut dreads, but, praying for him and praying with him as well, all of that worked together to create, who he is now. And I don't acknowledge me as the reason why he's where he is now. I acknowledge, God and a good mother,
I think you were amused, though.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm one of those. I don't have a problem praying for my husband. I don't have a problem with calling him out on his stuff, because he will even tell you, if you don't call me out on it, man, I'm gonna just get comfortable.
Absolutely, like any other person would. Like, yeah, that's why you have some of these situations where girls will call a dude for specific reasons. Like, some girls have a dude for certain things. You got Tommy that come over to cook. Then you have like Billy, he fixed the cars.
Oh yeah.
And then you have like D-Ray, the little youngin that don't really do nothing but slang.
Yeah.
And all of that. Yeah. Some women have that, and you just gotta rein it in. You can't let people use you like that. You cannot let people use you like that.
And men, this go for the men. If you're a good catch and you have it all going for yourself, you don't let any woman come in and make you feel less than. You don't let any woman come in there, and not saying that you become a control freak, but you don't let any woman come in there and make you feel like you're not genuine.
Yeah.
I faced that with a friend in the beginning. She thought that he wasn't genuine and authentic, and I knew that he was.
She's still talking to him.
His heart was there. His intentions were pure, but he went through hell for a little while, and in the end, it was more so she had issues within herself.
Yeah.
But men, they could kill somebody's self-esteem.
Yeah.
Anyway, because they'd be like, man, if you out here thinking I'm like that, man, I'm not gonna waste my time. Go get, get that broad from around the way that ain't asking me no questions and doing all that. She don't care.
Yeah.
And then they get stuck with these no good
women. It's a lot of. I think it's a stigma, though. People think that women are always getting hurt, but I feel like it's on the flip side. Like, women be out here being ruthless too, like along with the trifling dudes or whatever. I think that you just got to be very, very careful who you spend your time with, and you have to know who you are first to know what you're gonna put up with. Type of thing. Like, for me, I feel like being single is like, that's the best time to explore who you are and get your shit together, because if you don't know who you are, you don't know what you're going to deal with, you don't know what your standards are, you're going to fall into a lot of pit holes. You're going to have a lot of pitfalls. Like, if you don't explore yourself and figure out who you are and what drives you and motivates you. And talking about money as a motivation, like how we just said, money should never be your motivation for anything, because the minute that money dries up, you're going to be dead to the world, or you're going to be very unfulfilled. So you should never chase money, because money is not going to do anything for you. It might make you feel good for a minute, I ain't gonna lie, but for the long haul, you'll never feel fulfilled for
I feel like if you chase your purpose
in
all avenues, when I'm not just talking about your purpose in your career, but your purpose as far as your relationship, that optimum level is what I like to tell clients, that true authentic you.
Yeah.
If you're not chasing that authentic you and that purpose in all areas and avenues of your life, man, I feel bad because you're going to die a sad soul.
Yeah.
You're going to die a sad soul out here. I mean, like I said, even in your relationships, if you don't chase the purpose, if you know your purpose is to be a good husband or be a providing husband, and you don't chase a type of woman that will make you a better man than what you already are, you lost. You lost.
That's why you don't need to be, like, honestly, I feel like a lot of people should be by themselves. But we should make it like you got to be by yourself for 2 years or something because...
Well, can we tell the United States that? Because I really think we should be single.
Oh yeah, we do need to be single. We want to date around.
We in a situationship right now. We need to get out of it.
It ain't even a situationship. We just don't want to talk to them. But anyway, but yeah, I think that people need to have like a year or two to just get themselves together because it's like people hop from relationship to relationship, and it's always gonna be draining if you don't fix whatever it is that's causing you to be like that. If you don't fix it before you hop on somebody else.
I got friends like that, boy.
We all got friends like that, and we all be like, bro, sit down. And they be like, nah, I'm going out with Derek.
Derek and Joe and John and him and her too.
Man, it's crazy.
I don't understand people. It's okay to be alone. It's okay.
It is okay.
It's okay to be alone and have your friends and make sure you and your friends is
have
good
a good time,
and solid.
Man.
And yeah, y'all chilling. And when boo or bae or baby or Puda or whoever the hell they are, come along.
When your
that's
great.
With your po ass. I mean, man, that's the thing about it, man. You don't, if you gotta chop off one foot and think that your other foot is strong enough to hold your balance, man, you a damn fool. You a damn fool. And by that I mean, if you think you gotta cut off your day ones, your A1s, just to please baby over here, because she just, she bad, she fine, she can do all these things, or he fine, he just take care of me. What happens when, and I can tell you now, if you get this person, what happens when they have a baby? Because I ain't gonna lie, y'all, the body don't look the same. A woman's body don't look the same. So she bad now. When she have a baby, she's still gonna be bad to you. Was it worth it? If stuff really hits the fan, is she really gonna be down for you?
That's the question.
Or is it gonna be your friends out there coming up with the money?
I have a question. Well, not really a question, a statement. If your woman or your man or whoever you pursuing wants you to cut off everybody that is like a stakeholder in your life, like your parents, your family, like with exceptions, we know some families are just crazy as hell and they like very hard to deal with.
Yeah.
But if they're asking you to cut them off and like spend and just be with them, you might want to check that person out a little bit because they have a very demanding demeanor. That means they are controlling, which in turn means they don't give a fuck about you. They just here for self.
I mean, and now I understand some people have issues. They have their own personal issues, but that's one of those things where you got to make a decision. Is this really worth it? Or do I need you to work out your issues? Don't sit here and think, if it's okay for you to be around his family and her family, but you got to cut off spending time with your family, or you feel like you have to distance yourself from your family, it's not okay.
It's not okay.
No matter what it looks like, yes, at the end of the day, and I will tell any of my friends this, well, I ain't effing you.
Yeah.
So, if you really feel like you got to cut me off because he or she is effing you real good, go ahead. And what ends up happening? A year, 2 years in, they're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Because you blinded.
Yeah.
If you can, I'm going to just say this because I know it's not going to be the popular vote, but I'm going to say it. If you can wait, you need to wait because y'all be out here in these streets pussy whipped. And what's the word for the man? I mean, for the woman? Blinded by the D.
Blinded by the D.
Y'all be out here like
by them soul snatchers
operating with the goggles on, like them, them drunk goggles. It don't make no sense. Like y'all allow the physical to come first. When you do that, if you're not like securing yourself, you already gonna be jumping off the ledge at that point. Like try to make sure that what you have is solid before you give of yourself like that, because once you do that, like my friend Valerie told me, she was like, every time you sleep with somebody, it's a soul tie.
It is.
You have a soul tie with that person.
You do.
And you gave a piece of yourself to them.
And it can be a terrible thing.
It can be terrible.
Look at the cycle of abuse. They're on my council meeting. Look at the cycle of abuse. It's something about that. Your soul ties to that person for some crazy reason, and you put up with stuff that you know in your right mind you wouldn't. That happens all the time, and you know what is born out of that besides babies? Death is born out of that. And I don't mean literal death. I mean death of your soul, death of your spirit. I mean death of your purpose. You start to literally eliminate yourself from all avenues of life that God has given you.
It's sad.
By connecting to the wrong person. And like I said, hell, the devil was one of God's angels.
And he was one of the prettiest ones.
Exactly.
So girls, them pretty men got to be
watch them.
I'm just kidding.
Watch them eyes, y'all. Watch them eyes.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Jesus better not send me no Boaz with no hazel green or something. Lord Jesus, that's not okay. He need to have brown eyes like me. He can't have colored eyes because he would get away with everything. He'd get away with everything. That's my weakness, man. The eyes is just like, bro, close your eyes. I'm just not going to look at you.
Have a conversation with your eyes.
I can't look at you, guys. I can't look at you.
You're not getting away with it. Babe, can I do this?
No.
Close your eyes real quick. No. No, goddammit. No.
We all have our weaknesses, but yeah.
I mean, we do.
I just love beautiful eyes. I think they're beautiful.
Relationships are supposed to be God sent. And yes, they don't all last. And there's a reason why, because every relationship has a season. Some seasons are forever. That's reality. Some seasons are not. That's why you be careful who you link with, who you link up with. Be careful who you lay in this bed with. Be careful who you become friends with.
Yeah.
Because
the spirits leap off each other.
Man, be careful.
You got to be careful. You got to be more careful.
I mean, look at it like I like to use my iceberg analogy. On the surface, it looks like, in the distance, it looks like it's going to be big, it's going to be beautiful. And before you know, you are so mesmerized just staring at it. Before you know it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you done slammed into it and don't know what the hell you just slammed into. Now you're struggling. You're struggling to breathe. You're struggling to get your life. You're struggling to bring it all back. Yeah. All because you were so mesmerized about what looked so good on the surface, and didn't realize up under that bitch, it was deep
and dark.
It was big. It was dark. Hell yeah, and it was dangerous.
Yeah, it was. I think that a lot of people ignore the big old red flaming flags.
Man,
like I think that's probably why I'm single right now, because having cousins, I have a lot of guy cousins, and then I have a big brother, and like when you friends with like a lot of dudes, you see what they do, and like I be picking up on the game like this, got her to snap like that, and like it's hard for me to like, I can't dumb myself down, or I can't be dumb. Like if I see it, and it when the flag go up like that, I'll be like, that's one, and then if I see another one, you see the peace sign, that's two, I'm out. Like I can't wait. I don't fall in love with potential. To me, I don't do that. Like
Aunt Charlene said that. Y'all go follow the Christy show because she funny. But Aunt Charlene said that. She said, "What I look like falling in love with potential. Potential has a potential to be a hindrance."
Yes,
she was speaking that.
It is a hindrance. Like
it is.
You can say all day everything that you want to do. My thing is, this is where the ambition comes in. Like I need a man that's got ambition, because ambition and vision. So if you have the vision, you got to put some type of action to that vision to make it come to real life. Like there's no way you can just pray to God and, oh God, please send me this and please send me that. But God said, I already sent you the vision. You got the vision. That's the whole thing. That's all you need.
Yeah.
You got to work to get that. You have to find the resources for that. And God, when you start working, God will bless you along the way. But I can't be with anybody who is a hope. I hope this happens. I wish this will happen. I don't say hope and wish. I do.
Okay.
You have to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to be using some solid words here.
We gonna nothing. We do.
I mean, that's just
doing.
That's just reality. I mean, And like I said, that's the same thing with friendships.
Yeah.
Go back to your friendship. That's how you start to build that mentality, because you know from friendships what you're going to accept and what you're not going to accept. And you know the people that you hang around. The company you keep is important.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not around like-minded people, they ain't all got to want to be business owners, but if they aspire to do something greater than the average, it may not be owning a business. It could be, that they're just wanting to be a program director, or they want to just be the ultimate counselor and counsel all these different avenues, or want to be a motivational speaker.
Everybody's not supposed to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to put that out there. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'll tell you right now, this world, this little self-taught world that we live in, the microwave world that I like to call it.
Hey, I use it with my client.
Look at the term. But this microwave generation that we live in makes everybody think that if she can do it, I can do it too. But we need to really figure out what our gifts are and play off of those, and really figure out which lane you should be in and stay in that lane. Like, when you try to hop around in everybody's lane, you're going to be a person that picks up skills from everywhere, but you'll never master any of them.
Oh, man.
Because
that's deep there.
You'll never master any of them because that's not your calling.
And that's important.
And that is very important. The more you hop around and try to do what everybody else is doing or what's hot, you'll never reach success.
And I tell you now, if you know what your calling is, don't be like me.
It's a blessing.
Don't you be sitting there knowing what your calling is and you ignore it, because God will slap you in the face with it.
We've all done it though.
Man.
Like, I think that sometimes this is why God doesn't reveal our whole truth. This is my opinion. I really feel like this is why he doesn't, because we operate, as my bishop says, in the carnal mind instead of with our spirit and what God is telling us. Like, when you operate like that in your normal mind, you'll never be able to comprehend everything that he's trying to give you or trying to make you see. You'll run from it like a lot of people do. So we've all done it in a sense, but it's only in those moments where God lets you have that revelation of how your life would be if you didn't do it. Or when he slaps you across the face with it, like you said, that's when you put the action. That's when you do it. You have a choice.
Yeah.
Like, in my situation, I definitely wanted to, I thought I was going to get a job and work for a little bit so I could have funding, money and everything. And God said, nah, bro, I'm not even going to let you get an interview. Like, what? Jesus, what? Wait a minute, I got bills. Wait, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that. I did everything by the book, Keely. I feel like when it comes to preparing for the workforce, I had all the experience I needed. I had everything that I thought the society told me that I needed. I didn't get one interview, not one. But I think that's God's way of saying, like, bro, I got you. Like, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. So I'm not even going to let you in. It's like, dang, it's an exclusive club in this piece.
Mm-hmm. He will make you uncomfortable in a situation where you think you're supposed to be comfortable.
But that's how you know you're growing.
I'm still going through that, trying to be an entrepreneur, and I can say it's hard. Emotionally, it's hard, and
you're not trying to be. You are doing.
I am doing. You are correct about that. But it's hard emotionally because I have my days where it's just like, Lord, I'm not seeing any progress. I've written this blog and I've only got like three views.
If you get
if you get that. But then, you know what? I came to this realization actually last night that there is some progress being made. I just can't see it. I actually got a message from a girl from my hometown who's not a girl, a woman, who's a teacher. And, I knew her in school personally, and she reached out to me and asked me to come speak to her class about what I was doing. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, me? Okay, what? Okay. So, well, you know what? I'm going to go and do it because it's reaching back into the community, because that's where I'm from, Fayette, Mississippi, man. So, man, from Fayette, Mississippi. So I was like, okay, I'll go do it. I'll set it up and do it. But after speaking with her, and I thanked her a few hours later, she just said, I like what you're doing. And she said, and I want to help in any way that I can. And that let me know that even if it's just 3 people that seem to be viewing what I have to say, somebody somewhere is talking about it, or somebody somewhere is paying attention to what I'm doing, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it makes a world of a difference just knowing that. So, I worry. I do. I have my worries. But guess what? I'm learning that a little less worry needs to be happening because things are working in my favor.
Yeah. I think that when you get that feeling, I can tell you this from experience, whenever you start getting anxious or, antsy about, am I reaching people, you have to just remember why you started. It's not even about how many people you reach. It's supposed to be like, if one person reads this, you know what I'm saying?
That was my thing.
Yeah, you have to remind yourself of, why did I start this business? What was the initial motivation for it? So when you look at it like that, it is what it is. And also, if it's something you love, I personally don't give a damn if anybody read it. If you don't read it, cool.
It's therapy for me.
It's therapy
my
for
writing
me too.
is my therapy.
And I think that it's people reading it, we just don't know. Just like when you post a video, nobody likes it, but you got hundreds of views.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's very interesting because even with my little clips that I do on Instagram and everything, which is just a preview of what's on YouTube, I have a lot of views, but I don't have any likes. But I don't gauge my success based off of what you like. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And when you operating in purpose, you don't really care.
No, at the end of the day, like I tell anybody, if I could just reach one person, if I could just touch one person, if one person could read this, and feel like they aren't alone, that makes a world of a difference. I don't care about the money. I don't care about, how many people out there. You don't have to share my stuff. I really don't care. But I do realize I even have a very good friend who struggled with some of the things that I wrote about, and she had been behind on reading stuff, but she went back and read it, and she said, why is it like you're telling my story or my truth? And why is it that I tear up every time I read what you have to say? And that right there made me realize that, my work isn't in vain. My calling isn't in vain. Nothing that I do is in vain. And if I just continue to set myself up the way I have been and keep the support that I do have, I can't go wrong with that. The worst thing that could happen is really nothing.
You know what?
Worst thing that could happen is I give up on myself.
People really are afraid of their success, their potential to be successful. Like when I talk to future entrepreneurs or people who want to be entrepreneurs, my first question is, what is your version of success? What's your definition? And what's your definition of competition? Because those two let me know everything about you. If you view yourself as being in competition with someone else, you shouldn't be an entrepreneur, because you should already automatically think that nobody can do what I do like I do it.
Exactly. Period. It's the like I do it part that matters.
Right. Period. And then on top of that, like, it's your calling. This world, everything is recreated. I said this in one of my posts not too long ago. We've all adopted, methods and things. Nothing is new. Let's be real. Nothing is new.
Them J's y'all be standing in line for. Let me tell you something. Them J's, them things, they just remakes, people.
And they didn't make them well, because back in the day, we had stitching and we had real life.
Bro, you can still go out and hoop and wear them things casual.
Nowadays, they use stickers and stuff like that. It's not even really, stitching like it used to be, but it's made very poorly. And that's a great example of what I mean. You are the original. You're the original. And them new J's is basically the carbon copies.
Hey.
Like, so nobody is in competition with you. Like, when you understand that, you'll be able to operate a lot freer.
That goes for marriages too, guys. I'm so serious, because I used to be that type of, I want a marriage like that. I want a marriage where this and that. And behind the scenes, either that marriage was a bunch of crap, or they divorced, or they just were admitting that it looks like this on the surface, but it was a lot of work to get to that point. And I used to think, I don't want a marriage like this. I want a marriage like this. I don't want a, relationship like this. I want it like this. Mm-hmm. And when I came to the realization that my husband is not that man and I am not that woman and our situations are not their situations, it could be similar, but it's not theirs. Mm-hmm. It made me operate different. It made me approach him differently. It made me, it just made me look at my marriage differently. My marriage isn't by far terrible. We have our issues. We have our times where, we wonder, why did I get married? Literally, like the movies.
Why did I get married?
We do have those moments, but it's never to the point. The D word doesn't get dropped in this house. And I don't mean the good D word. I'm talking about divorce. That does not get dropped in this house. Because you know what? When we took our vows, I don't care how young I was, I meant what I said. When I said for better or worse, richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, till death do us part, I literally meant that. And one thing my husband and I have agreed upon is, we don't believe in divorce. Now if abuse happens, hey, because I am an advocate for, survivors of domestic violence and different types of abuse, I don't stand for it. If you are in a dangerous situation, I'm not going to tell you to get out, seek help, because if I tell you to get out, that's usually the most dangerous time for you. So if you got family members out there that's in situations like that, relationships or whatever that are abusive, don't be telling them, girl, you need to leave him. Man, you need to leave her. Don't do that, because that's the most dangerous point in a relationship, and people don't know that.
Yeah.
But I will say, let them seek some help. Mm-hmm. But I meant my vows from day one. He ain't perfect, but he perfect for me.
Right.
I'm not perfect. He don't like my attitude. It's cool. You've been dealing with it for all these years. So just shut up.
You love my attitude. You know you love my attitude.
You tell me all the time. You so moody. I need at least 30 minutes to an hour of good time in the morning before you be trying to be nice.
Oh my God. She said to an hour, Jesus.
If I wake up at 6, don't talk to me till like I'm about to walk. Ask Chris. He can kiss me goodbye at 7 o'clock. I'd be the nicest person ever because I get up at 6.
That's horrible.
Hey, it is what it is.
Everybody got their stuff though.
Him and his daughter wake up cheerful and wanting to play and have a conversation. Y'all sit down. Sit down. But real talk, it's not gonna be perfect. But look, y'all. Cause I be feeling like they don't be feeling me, man.
I feel sorry for people though.
No offense, it's gonna be some hoes listening to this today gonna go call they dude. You gonna marry me?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna marry me? I can't do it because that ain't my purpose. If you been giving him
don't be taking our quotes. Bro, no. Make sure you use it in the right context, please. Thanks. Please. I'm gonna say, we're gonna probably get ready to end it and say, I'm gonna say, relationships are supposed to be like something that adds to you, and it's not supposed to be a draining thing. It's supposed to be something that you get to experience, like love in its purest form.
Yes.
Besides, having a kid, that's the ultimate. So I think that we all need to reevaluate how we view relationships, because we've been kind of tainted from our reality, with all the reality television shows and then the fake marriages and the fake relationships. But anyway, we just need to step back and understand who we are as a person and operate in that sense and know that you are enough. You don't have to do all that for everybody's attention. Just do you and be patient. What else would you like to say in closing, Q?
I mean, you summed it up, but never lose yourself, because at the end of it all, that's all you got. I mean, you have a support system, and definitely don't lose that. But most important part of it all is never lose who you are, because I've been down that road. It's not a good road to go down, and it takes a lot to get you back.
Yeah. So, you can get back though, but you don't want to have to do that.
It's not impossible.
It's a fight though.
It's a fight. It is a fight. But if you got some good people in your life, keep those people around regardless of the the relationship. Of course, put boundaries. But if you got good support system, keep ties with those people and use your friendships as your basis for your relationship.
Yeah,
please.
'Cause that's where it starts anyway. Your relationship should be a friendship first anyway. Because when you don't like that person, that friendship, that foundation is what's going to save your relationship.
Amen.
So we need to be friends, guys.
Friends. How many of us have them?
Not a lot of us.
Very limited.
Well, it's been real. Thank you, Keely. I appreciate you, Mrs. Hampton.
Thank you for having me on.
I hope y'all enjoyed this episode of Petty and Friends. This is your girl, Optimistic K, signing out. And until next time, remember, don't just be petty, be a friend. All right, I'll talk to y'all later.